Alright, that was a pretty successful Nuzlocke session, I must say. We managed to and we even managed to, although it is quite unfortunate that, but let's have a look at the footage and see what we can do.
A few moments later.
What the fuck is this? Okay gang, so before we begin, I have some bad news regarding the first half of this video. That being that the footage corrupted, and in its current state, I can't even begin to show you what happened. But the good news is, I am a severely paranoid schizo, because my PC which I use to record these videos is halfway to becoming legally old enough to drink. I make sure to save all of my data in a way that prevents me from losing it alongside 70 different backups. And when my PC can legally drink, I'm going to drown it. And so I plan to save state from just after I beat Elisa, and I'm going to attempt to recreate the first half of my recording. So after exiting the gym, which is now crumbling due to severe infrastructure damage, I reorganized my team for the next gym, which is definitely way more difficult because it has this little thing called, get this, counterplay, plus a powered on setup permanent sandstorm. This is a major problem because we only get weather TMs after the next gym, and none of my Pokemon learn them naturally. Now this is something that I couldn't have possibly prepared for, and there's nothing I could have done leading up to this point that would have made this gym any easier. Thankfully, it's a similar situation to Berg, where Clay is the only boss fight of this part of the game, and as you can see here, the claim that I just made was not fact-checked, because I completely forgot to do any research before bolting off to Driftveil. Churn starts the fight with the advantage as he leads with Staraptor into Swash. Luckily, I don't forget that Samurai is part fighting type and make sure to switch out into Crispy on an aerial ace. We get hit by close combat before taking it out, which was actually another aerial ace in the initial recording, but regardless, our team is now set up to easily take on the rest of Churn's team, especially his M-Ball. The astute among you will realize that Churn doesn't have an M-Ball, and what this means is that because of this, Simipour, who was also not shown in my guide, comes out, so I have to switch into Bloomer on Aaliyah. I find it strange that the AI didn't just go for Scold, but considering that in the actual recording the Simipour just spammed Lick for no reason, I'm willing to accept that Churn just isn't as intelligent as previously thought. Gigalith comes in, and out of fear of dying to a rock slide, I switch into Swash, who can tank the power gem on the switch in before killing with a couple Razor Shells. This baits in Superior, so I switch into Crispy, but for whatever reason, in both the corrupted and recreated footage, Superior just goes for Slam instead of Leaf Blade until it dies, and now I'm convinced that Churn's brain is just shrinking. In the actual footage, we kill it with a critical hit Heat Crash, so just pretend that's what happened here. You know what, we don't even need footage, just use your imagination for the rest of the video.
Many moments later.
And so I easily finish off the fight against Clay with the Kyogre that I found from Shaken Grass on Route 6. It's actually shiny too, with perfect IVs and Pokemon. And also after this my parents begin to love me again. After Superior's death, Churn sends out his final Pokemon, Alakazam, who is a major threat to my team. If he knew any attacking moves. I'm sure this is just a mistake, there's no way Churn's this stupid. Wow Garbles, nice battle. Oh god, he spoke normally, he's slowly losing all of his intelligence. I estimate that he has until the end of the series until his brain becomes void of any sentient life. Before I can break the unfortunate news of his condition to him, Elisa shows up to help us cross over to Driftveil, but first, she wants to introduce some random ass nobody to us. Is that the President of the United States? Mr. President, why have you come to meet us? And why is your hair red? And is it true that you are present on Liberty Island?
No, it is not true. I have no relations with their Professor Epstein, nor is my name anyway to be found in his pal pad. It was all a wicked scheme, orchestrated by the Sark Party. They're the ones who are really on the pal pad. They're crooks, and that's why they lost the election and why the Throw Party won. As for why I'm here, as you know, I am the best Pokemon trader, the greatest in all the region. No, really, I'm the best, and that's why I am the champion. And as you probably know, there's a wicked team roaming around the country, Team Plasma. They call themselves Team Plasma, and they want to revive the legendary dragon Pokemon, and as President of the United States, it is my sworn duty to make sure that they are deported. And so I am looking for talented trainers under the age of 12 to help me, and would be very grateful if you were to battle these two children that I just bought as a test of strength.
We defeat the two preschoolers that Trump purchased and then say our goodbyes after promising to aid the Republican Party in our quest to stop Team Plasma. Following this, we watch Elisa magically lower the bridge at our path before leaving to go star in B-Movie 2. We get another encounter and it's Spearow, who we name Bird Up. This isn't actually Bird Up. Bird Up is a Wingull. I just couldn't be asked to look for one for the sake of accuracy. Now before one of you goes, oh Garbles, you didn't actually get a Wingull, you're cheating to get better Pokemon. I'd like to make it clear that if I was going to cheat myself a Wingull, I'd make sure that it didn't have Keen Eye. So no, I did not cheat here. But I did actually wipe against those preschoolers. The corrupted footage was all a lie. We then make our way across the bridge.
What a thrill.
Before arriving in the city that has unreasonably good music. We meet up with Churl alongside a 4'10" cowboy who states that while the drawbridge was being lowered, the Team Plasma members that he caught managed to escape using their /TP command, and, like most terrible things in life, it's completely my fault. We agree to help search for them as per our aforementioned alliance with the Republicans, but not before searching for a new encounter. I decide that despite some strong encounters like Snover and Dealing on Route 6, I opt to play it safe and go for the static fungus encounter. We name him Sporp and head down to the cold storage where we get another encounter. This time it's Bacon the Weasel, and before you ask, yes, my encounter isn't actually a weasel, it's a swine-up. Just so I'm not ruining anybody's immersion. Thankfully, this is where I stopped recording the first half of my footage, and so the rest of this video is what actually happened. Go through some ice puzzles before arriving at the storage container, where the Team Plasma members are having some kind of orgy. In the first calculated decision that I've ever seen from Team Plasma, they decide to jump us all at once, but without part-time Grunt Roddled at their side, they all inevitably lose to Swash. Once we've defeated them, Clay shows up with his goons to take them away, and as the most powerful criminal organization in the country, Team Plasma responds by cooperating without any struggle. Clay congratulates us for defeating the Grunts and states that we can now challenge his gym, so after collecting a couple of items in preparation, we make our way back to the gym. What is that music that keeps getting like, oh fuck. We are here to retrieve our comrades? Really? And just how are you going to convince me to let them go? Does the title of Grand Dragonite of the Kling Clan clan sound familiar to you? Clay, what the fuck? Can I join? With no other options, Clay lets the Team Plasma Grunts go out of fear of losing his position as gym leader, and so our work for the past 20 minutes is made completely redundant. Before we challenge the gym, however, we make changes to our team in preparation, which sees the addition of Sporp and Bacon to our party. As for the gym challenge itself, this shit definitely has several health violations. Look at this drop. I am convinced that there is a sizable amount of children who have died doing this, but I'm sure that many more have died attempting the gym battle itself. The battle starts off with me one-shotting the leader Powder with an energy ball from Bloomer after it sets up the rest of its team with Sandstream. Our grass type baits in Steelix with Firefang, so I switch it to Swash, who unfortunately switched into a Coil, which raises Steelix's attack and defense. After panicking for about 5 minutes due to I physically can't kill this thing in less than 3 hits, my dementia wears off and I remember that I taught Swash Encore for this exact reason, which lets me easily KO it with a couple Sacred Swords later. Clay brings in Crocodile, and then Intimidate means that I have to switch out into Sporp, who has been trained to be a tank in terms of its HP, and half of my HP is gone. That's nice. Thankfully, at the very least, this confirms that he's going for Earthquake, meaning I can safely switch into Corona, who can one-shot the Florida resident with a Flying Gem boosted Acrobatics. Marowak is next, who has his attack doubled by his Hellthick Club, and threatens Corona with a Stone Edge. I send in Starbit only to come to the shocking realization, double damage is in fact a lot of damage. So much so that I don't have a follow-up Earthquake. I decide to make a ballsy play by switching into Corona on an Earthquake so that Marowak is baited into using a less powerful Stone Edge as I switch into Bloomer, who can avoid a crit before safely one-shotting on the next turn. Up next is Clay's Ace Excadrill, who unlike Elisa's Sub-Striker, is fucking terrifying. Thankfully, Bacon is obese enough to tank an Exeter on the switch in thanks to his Eviolite before taking advantage of a greedy sword stance for the KO. God bless my adamant nature. Lastly is Seismitoad, who would have been easily dealt with by Amoonguss had I previously not sent him in to lose over half his health. But don't worry, since Seismitoad is baited into using Muddy Water, I can safely switch into Swash in order to encore him and... Okay, now you can worry. My last hope is to switch into Chronon and Earth Power and pray that Bloomer survives a Muddy Water with Sand Ship whilst avoiding an accuracy drop on the switch in order to KO Kermit's special need cousin. We switch her in And Seismitoad definitely lost his job after that one as we collect our 5th gym badge. Sorry for the rough recreation of the first part of the video and thank you for watching. Make sure you like and subscribe or else Seismitoad will never find another job. See ya.